everybody. Welcome back for round number 12 at Ohsweken Speedway, just south of Brantford in Ohsweken, Ontario. Now, we got a lot of the races coming down to the wire for our championship point series, but first, let's go down to the pits and make our way around and see who's here. All right, everybody, we're here for the final round at Ohsweken Speedway and standing with none other than Kenny Reedman himself. Now, Kenny, you kind of come to the season a little bit later. Georgian Downs, you had a pretty good run, fitting really well in the intermediate class. You know, you're just right around my area as well, too. We're battling out at the back of the pack. Tell us how it's been going for you.
Oh, it's just been a ton of fun. You know, I just love coming out here, doing some dirt track races at the end of my road race season, and, you know, couldn't finish off the season with any more fun than come out here for some flat track Canada races.
Now, you did some CSBK stuff. Tell us how that season went as well.
Yeah, it went pretty good. I won the Sport Bike Championship again for the third year in a row, and I was the runner-up in Superbike again. So that was kind of a bummer. My goal was definitely to win both classes, but, you know, looking on next year, I learned a lot, and I think I'm just going to focus on the Superbike next year and try to beat Jordan and get that championship.
It's going to be pretty hard to beat Zokes because, you know, that's a guy that's hard to knock the crown off. But anyways, lots of people helping you out, Kenny, so give some love out to those sponsors.
Yeah, big thanks to Sturgis Cycle and Kawasaki for getting me a bike, John Cornwell for helping me put it together, Steve Beatty for a little bit of information and help getting my suspension set up, and Liquid Moly Oils, and yeah, that's it.
All right, so Kenny Reedman, keep an eye out for him on the track in the intermediate classes. All right, everybody, standing here with Justin Crum. Crum, coming back into the season a little bit late. You had some unfortunate luck down in Welland, same as myself. Now, what is your goal and your plan coming out here for Ohsweken? Is this just a little bit of test and tune for you for next year so you get a little bit of an understanding of the track?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to get the itch off my back. You know, I've been trying to get out there and just want to come back out one last time this season. I just don't want to go in the next season with shivers down my back.
So give us a little quick breakdown of what exactly happened to the extent of your injuries and how you overcame it.
Just the guy went down in front of me, and I ended up shattering my ankle. I had surgery, some plate and screws, and I've just been walking daily and trying to get movement and see what I can do out here.
All right, well, obviously lots of people helping you out, so give some love to those sponsors.
Yeah, I just want to thank Lords of Gastown, Dirt Bike Kids, Triple K Upholstery, Hart and Huntington, Not Your Average Joe Sirianni, Reckless Crew, and just friends and family helping me out, man. That's it.
Okay, well, we're going to send Justin out for our WAS Hot Lap today, so let's not waste any time. And coming out of corner number 4, heading down that front straightaway, Justin doing a great job getting back into the groove of things. Now, starting off our WAS Hot Lap, heading down into corner 1 and 2. This is a high-bang track. You can see Justin's really leaning this bike over. Already coming off of corner 2. It's a fast, clay-based track. The Ohsweken Speedway crew doing a great job to get this track ready for us. Practice, it was really, really good, and throughout the day, it's going to dry up a bit, make things a little bit tricky. But coming across the line at a 22.70 is Justin Crum. Okay, starting our racing tonight is the intermediate DTX class, 13 riders. Jody Christie pulling a little bit of a wheelie, heading down that front straightaway. It's Dustin Brown, Dustin Lambert. Lambert doing a great job, getting a lot of hole shots this year. You know, hats off to him for always being out front early in the race. Tyler Brown going way down low. Dustin Brown starting to dive down. He's going to go into that line with his brother. Jody Christie getting a strong drive off the top on that KBR Honda, heading down the front straightaway for lap number 1. It's Christie, Brown, and Brown heading into corners 1 and 2. Now Dustin kind of going up the track a little bit higher. You can see he gets a good drive off of the corner. Following these guys in. Justin Crum sitting there in that 4th spot, I believe that is. Him and Kenny Reedman. Kenny Reedman doing a great job out here today. You know, he really figured some things out, did some different setups on his bike, and that is really propelling him to the front. Tyler Brown and Jody Christie almost get into each other. Coming off of corner number 2, Tyler Brown forcing Christie to go wide. In 3 and 4, Christie's going to try and cut down and get a good strong drive. Justin Crum sitting in 3rd spot. Kenny Reedman making the pass for 3rd now, coming around for lap number 3. Now we got Cody Marantet sneaking up on the inside of Justin Crum. Cody just has to place well in this race, and he's going to win the DTX Intermediate Championship. Dustin Brown slipping back there in the 6th spot, sorry. And we got battles going on all over the track. Jody Christie getting a little bit loose. Tyler Brown coming out of corner number 2, still holding on to his lead. It seems to be slowly creeping away, but Cody Marantet putting some moves down on the inside line. Now Kenny and Jody, as if these guys couldn't get enough of each other back in the Superbike days, now they've brought it to flat track, and they're running 2-3 right now. Both trying to work together, it looks like, to catch up to Tyler Brown. Justin Crum slipping back into that 5th spot as Cody Marantet makes a move down on the inside of Christie, going low. Dustin Brown going low as well, too. You know, this track has its advantages and disadvantages wherever you are on the track. So it's going to take some smart plays by these riders to really gain some positions and start moving forward. Tyler Brown still holding on to that 1st spot. Looks like Kenny's still sitting in 2nd. Cody Marantet sitting there in 3rd. Now, Jody Christie, Justin Crum, and Dustin Brown starting to drift back a little bit. Not sure if Jody's just pacing himself out here and planning to set the bullseye in the back of Marantet and slingshot by him and catch up to Kenny and try and get that battle for the lead back after lap 1 when he brought us around. Tyler Brown is slowly losing that race lead over Kenny Reedman and Cody Marantet. Cody seemed to have found a good strong line getting around. Making their ways out of corner number 2. Kenny Reedman going up high with Tyler Brown. Cody Marantet down on the inside line, still going close to that cinder block barrier down on the inside. Coming around for our final lap here. Kenny Reedman's got to pull out all the stops here if he wants to get by Tyler Brown. Cody Marantet looking to do the same thing. Takes that 2nd position away from Kenny Reedman. Kenny gets the strong drive down the back straightaway here as Cody goes down to the cinder block wall. Tyler Brown getting the drive off of corner number 4 up high. It's enough to get past Marantet. Marantet steals that 2nd position away from Reedman, or did Reedman get him at the line? Welcome back, and it's time for the Expert DTX race. 13 riders here on the line. Brody Buchan getting a great start. A lot of guys struggling with their starts here today. A lot of tires just breaking loose and doing a huge burnout down the front straightaway. No one really going anywhere or going out sideways, but it seems to be Buchan who slips the clutch and gets out ahead early as Doug Lawrence, the number 1 rider, is sitting there in that 2nd spot. Tyler Seguin threading the needle and getting up through Isherwood, and Taylor, who's made his return back from injury as well too. Now Buchan cutting down across the corner number 2 exit, getting a good drive heading out of the corner there, but it's Tyler Seguin who's made his way up through the pack and 2 laps to that 3rd spot. Now he's going to be battling it out with Doug Lawrence for that 2nd spot. Tyler Seguin, like we said earlier, he is going to be the guy to beat because he just seems to make this line work where he goes around the track and then just before the exit line cuts down and gets a stronger drive off the corner instead of going way, way up. As you can see, he's diving down right here and he's making that move by Lawrence. Now he's got his sights set on Buchan coming around for lap number 3 here. Now Doug doing the same kind of idea, diving down in front, getting around Tyler there. Both of these guys charging up and with Buchan here. We're going to go on board with Buchan. This is what it looks like right now. Lawrence getting around them there in corner number 4. Now Seguin using that line to get around them and completing lap number 4 as these guys head down into corners 1 and 2. Lawrence going up to the high side. Seguin's going to come down low. Oh, he doesn't even go down low. He goes up high with Doug as well, and they start to make a little bit of time over Buchan. Now Seguin, this is just the craziest line that I've ever seen work. Just gets the strongest drive I've ever seen and gets the lead back from Lawrence. Lawrence going to do everything that he can to try and take that line away from Seguin. Doesn't seem to be working though, as Seguin just kind of patiently waits and checks up and then goes around the back side of him. Tyler getting the strong drive over Lawrence there on the outside of corner number 4. Buchan now starting to get his hands full because that is Doug Beatty sneaking up on the other KBR Honda, the number 12 machine. Doug makes his appearances here and there, kind of races whenever he wants. He's a part-time rider there for Kurt, so he kind of comes out and shakes things up. Now Seguin and Lawrence, we've got a battle for first on our hands, and we're only 7 laps in. Lawrence taking that line away from Tyler. Tyler patiently waiting once again. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. Now this battle that's behind the rest of the pack, I'm not entirely sure who that is, but it seems to be getting interesting as those guys are also going bar to bar too. So little battles going on all around the track here. Buchan still sitting in that 3rd spot, but it's Beatty who's got his sights set on Tyler Seguin going down on the low side of Doug Lawrence once again. Now Doug Beatty up on the high side of Buchan, cutting down, kind of doing the same thing as Tyler, using that momentum and coming across the line here. The battle for 3rd is now Beatty holding off Buchan. Lawrence almost getting into the back of Seguin there. Not exactly sure what was happening. Lawrence trying to hold his line, keeping a long radius around the outside of this track here. Tyler, you see him already squaring it up and taking a look down to his exit, getting a crazy strong drive. 2 laps to go here. Battle for 3rd, a little bit further back. You can see a couple of the other riders here. They're kind of trying to do everything they can to stay on pace, but it's not enough as Tyler and Doug are already heading back down into corners 3 and 4. Tyler holding off Lawrence. No sweat right now. Can this all transfer into the Open Expert main event? Will we have another 1-1 champion here today? We will have to wait and find out, but for right now it looks like Seguin has the fastest line around the track figured out. Lawrence doing everything he can. One last ditch effort. It's not going to be enough as Tyler patiently waits and gets that drive. Doug knows it. He's taking that 2nd spot tonight, and the 3rd spot is coming down to Buchan or Beatty, and it's Beatty over Buchan. All right, it's time for one of our special events of the evening. It's the Dash for Cash. Now leading the charge into the first corner is Steve Beatty, Tyler Seguin, Don Taylor, and Brody Buchan down there on the inside. Doug Lawrence way down the inside and trailing at the back of the pack. To everyone's surprise, finishing 3rd in his heat race and really kicking some butts out here tonight was Rick Gumby, one of our oldest members in the racing community here. Rick really showing a couple of people how it's done tonight. Looks like he's playing it safe here and saving himself for the main event as Beatty making his way around the top side of the track here, holding off Doug Lawrence, Brody Buchan, and Tyler Seguin. Tyler going way down to the inside. You can see him. He's kind of bouncing around, getting through those ruts. Steve getting the charge over Doug Lawrence and Brody Buckin heading down that front straightaway for lap number 2. Coming off of corner number 2 here, Lawrence going a little bit higher, going to be getting a stronger drive, getting around Buckin right now. Buckin going down to the bottom side of the track. Beatty putting the hammer down around the outside. You're going to see Buckin slip back, and it's going to be Lawrence going right back by him too. Now Tyler Seguin's made a move up by Brody Buckin. So is there enough time left here as our final lap comes around for the Dash for Cash as Beatty's starting to run away with it? He's just got to play it safe here. Doug Lawrence going way down to the inside, maybe trying to take the line away from Beatty, but it's not going to be enough as Beatty is taking home the cash prize here for the Dash for Cash. Okay, our second last race of the night. It's the Intermediate Open. 14 riders on the line, heading down into the front straightaway here into the first corner. Matty Ward off to an early start, grabbing that hole shot over his cousin Tyler Brown. Jody Christie sitting there in that third spot. Justin Crum, Dustin Lambert, Kenny Reedman, Cody Marentet. It's all the usual suspects up front and making its way to take the first lead lap was Matty Ward, but Justin Crum makes a move on the inside of him, and then Luke Ram comes out of nowhere and gets by them both to take the race lead. Heading down the back straightaway, Justin Crum forced to the outside around the outside of Jody Christie. Luke Ram's going to get that drive coming off of corner number 4 here. Everyone else slips back. You can see he kind of slingshots himself into the lead, carries that momentum down this high banking track. See Luke way out to the outside, and that's what's giving these guys these drives over the middle and the inside line. If they start making up some serious ground over the second spot here with Luke, that might not be enough for anyone to catch up to him. But Luke's really got to put the hammer down and start getting away from these guys. Tyler Brown and Justin Crum battling it out for that second spot. Jody Christie in the mix, and then there's Kenny Reedman sitting in that 5th spot, not far off pace. Matty Ward, Cody Marentet, Alex Olson, and Dustin Lambert all battling it out for that 6th, 7th, 8th spot. So Justin Crum putting some moves on to catch back up to Luke Ram. Tyler Brown slipping back a bit. Cody Marentet in a battle of his own with 3 other riders. You can see they're all kind of around the track here at the same time. The battle for first and the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Hey, it's anyone's game here as things are starting to heat up. Justin Crum figuring out his line and getting a good drive, but not fast enough to catch up to Luke Ram using that high bank still. Tyler Brown going way down to the inside. He gets around Crum. Crum loses a little bit of traction there, and you can see his back end slide out. Matty Ward falling back to Alex Olson. Now Tyler Brown moving to the outside halfway through this race, people. It's anyone's game. Tyler Brown now using the middle line. He's going to try and cut down and go to the inside of Justin Crum. Crum getting the drive and going up high, but it's not enough as Tyler Brown makes his move and gets around him. Tyler challenging for the lead here. Will Luke have enough to get by him? We've got 3 wide coming across the start-finish line here on the front straightaway at Ohsweken Speedway. Luke getting that lead back over Tyler Brown. Now Tyler, he's going to really be putting that hammer down. Cody Marentet and Jody Christie battling it out for that 4th spot. Kenny Reedman's dropped back to 5th, I believe, 6th, as Alex Olson has started to make his way forward. Luke Ram still leading on lap number 8. Tyler Brown and Justin Crum just nipping on his heels, waiting for a mistake to happen. Cody Marentet sitting in that 4th spot, still holding off Jody Christie. And Alex Olson now creeping up on the pair of those guys, battling it out for that 4th spot. Tyler Brown trying to make it work in the middle, not getting a strong enough drive. You can see his back end starts to slide out too. Tyler opting to cut down on the inside of Justin Crum. Luke Ram still holding down on the outside line there. That just seems to be the line for him as he makes his way around the track. Now Cody Marentet really closing the gap here running way down on the bottom. Tyler getting up in front of Luke. Luke having to shut off the throttle for half a second and then get back on it. Taking the line away from these other riders. Sometimes that's something you got to do to make room to catch up. Luke still holding down the outside. Now we got a four-way battle for first, people. This is where it gets really interesting. So coming across that line, the final lap, it's anyone's game here as we head into corners 1 and 2. Tyler Brown looking on the inside, takes the lead away from Luke. Luke's going to challenge him and go up high. Cody Marentet dive bombing down on the inside. Cody might not have enough room to get around Luke, but it's not going to be enough for Tyler, who's going 1-1 at the end of this season. Cody Marentet second, Luke Ram in third. So something we're doing different, the Wall of Death starring Greg Hodovic. Yeah, we're gonna set this thing up and Greg's gonna ride right through it. Now all those proper safety precautions were taken when making this, so do not try this at home. Greg with the WAS cam on, heading down into the Wall of Death. Race of the evening. It all boils down to this one. We'll be crowning a champion at the end of this one. And Tyler Seguin getting up to the front of the pack early. Don Taylor in the mix up there. Now we got 5 wide with crazy fast speeds. Beatty getting loose, getting the bike spun around. We're going to be going to a red flag here. So more or less, it all boils down to this. Doug Lawrence has to win this race in order to take the championship away from Beatty. Now we watched earlier in the day, Doug has not opted out to ride anything else but his DTX bike. Seems to be getting around here the best. Don Taylor, Tyler Seguin, they're battling it out for that second spot. Tyler now takes the lead away from Lawrence. We watched Seguin take this crazy line earlier in the day. Will this be the strong line? Will this be able to pay off? Because Doug has to put this charge on. He has to win this race. Buchan sitting in that 4th spot, looking to take away that 3rd position from either Seguin or Taylor, whoever makes the mistake first. But it seems to be Seguin who's going to be making that charge back up to the front of the pack here. Don Taylor reworking some things out in the pits there, getting everything sorted out as he's seems to be getting a lot more traction and getting around the track a lot easier and not really struggling. Tyler getting forced up high to the outside. He's going to dive down on the inside of Lawrence. Getting that drive. Lawrence, I think he's just patiently watching and waiting. He knows what Seguin's going to do. He's got to stick with him. Don getting a little bit loose up on that high side. He opens the door for Buchan. Will Don get a drive back down the back straightaway? It almost goes bar to bar. Buchan slightly ahead of him and an advantage to Buchan, who takes away that 3rd position. Now Seguin and Lawrence start checking out, getting a bigger gap going over here over the 3rd and 4th place positions of Buchan and Taylor. But it's Tyler who seems to be slowly edging his way away from Lawrence. Buchan's got his handful with Don Taylor sitting there right in that 4th spot. Lawrence trying to do everything he can to hold on. He knows that he's just got to get the bullseye set on the back of Seguin, stick with him until the closing remaining laps, and do everything that he can to take the checkered flag and win this championship. Lap number 6, Seguin's got a sizable gap starting to form here over Lawrence. These two running away from Buchan and Taylor, and then single file throughout the rest of the pack behind them. Seguin cutting down on that track. He's found the sweet spot. He is on a set of rails. We've got the halfway flags up. Tyler not really losing control, but just a two-wheel drift coming into corner number 1 there. Buchan starting to check out over Don Taylor. But I don't believe it's going to be enough to reel this kid in today. Tyler is just flying around this track. He's got it figured out. Lawrence is slowly watching the championship slip away from his grasp, but he might even have his hands full. Right behind him is Buchan, who not entirely sure if he's catching up to him. It looks like he's starting to close a gap here a little bit. But Tyler, every lap, just seems to be slowly creeping more and more away from Lawrence. Opening up a sizable gap here. Our top 3 riders, single formation, gapped out pretty big, so we're going to skip ahead here a couple laps to our final lap. We can see Seguin coming off corner number 4 there, just gets the white flag. He's got 2 lap riders just ahead of him, but he's made such a huge lead, it doesn't even seem to matter where he goes or what he does. He knows he's got this one in the bag. Takes a look over his shoulder, starts bobbing his head. He knows it. He's got something lined up for us all. Coming out of corner number 4, pops a huge wheelie and takes the checkered flag at the last race of the season here. Doug Lawrence coming across the line in 2nd and Brody Buchan in 3rd. And we all want to thank everybody who's volunteers, all of our sponsors, and everyone to make this season as magical as it has been. Tyler's going to go out for the checkered flag. All the fireworks are going off here at Ohsweken Speedway. And when this is all said and done, we're going to go down and catch up with our top 3 riders. The Flat Track Canada crew would like to send out their get well soon wishes to Steve Beattie, who gets the championship by 1 point over Doug Lawrence. It becomes our new Open Expert champion for 2016. Tyler Seguin finishing up with a big dirty burnout here, and he's going to head down into victory lane.
All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up the season here. Brody Buchan taking that 3rd spot out here today in the Open Expert. Track changed a lot today. How did you combat that?
Yeah, it was completely different from practice to heats to the main even. So right off the bat, it was a little frustrating because what I liked riding it wasn't this track. I'm used to cushion tracks, like riding cushion tracks like wide open and sideways. So it's going to take it's a big learning step for me to come out and ride clay, but I can't complain. Got 3rd. That's excellent for me. Big cushion, not cushion, clay. Sorry. It was good. I liked it in the main. It was a little bit slippery, but a lot of traction. I was doing good starts all day. Can't complain about that. So all in all, it was a good day, even through all the changes we had to go through and hustling to get out onto the track.
All right, well, obviously lots of people helping you out this year. We're probably going to see you back on that KBR machine again next year. There's no doubt about that. All right, Brody, give us a rundown.
Of course, I have to give a huge thanks to Kurt Beeger, KBR, always supplying super fast bikes for me to ride. I can't thank him enough. It just wouldn't have been as easy to do this without. It wouldn't even have been possible. So with Honda Canada on board this year, big thanks to them, making it easy for all of us. Jody Christie helping me out big time this year. Outlaw Productions, the Hesmers, my mom and dad, Matt and Michelle Phibbs, DJ and Graphic Design, Randy Fryers, Scott Wilkinson, Chapman Signs, Chicken Hawk Racing, 26 Suspension, all the fans coming out to support me and the whole series. It's amazing. Thank you, everyone.
All right, Kurt, that's 2 championships in the books for you, so a couple more number 1 plates up on that wall down in the shop.
Yeah, we're doing really good this year. Brody won the DTX class. Steve, after his crash, still had enough points to win the open class. So 2 more championship, won all the expert classes. Great year, except for Steve. Now I have to see what he's like.
All right, so keep an eye out for those KBR bikes coming back out on the track next year. Okay, so taking that 2nd spot out here at Ohsweken, Doug Lawrence. Tell us what went on in that main event. It was a little bit hectic at first, and then Tyler Seguin seemed to have that fast line to get the drive on you. Just give us a rundown on what was going through your mind.
Yeah, he was just a touch faster than me all day, and it was I was just trying to find it every time I was we were in separate heat races, so I didn't get a good look at him. We had a hell of a race in the 450 race there. We went back and forth, but I knew he was a touch quicker, and in the dash, it's a short race, ended up getting him. In the main event, I needed to get the start. I think I did. I think I led the first couple laps, but it was just that touch faster than me, and I could not run the lines he was running to match his speed. So I needed to do the line that I was running. I needed to do it a bit better, and I wasn't able to do that. And I did switch a few things up, and that's when I started to lose a couple bike lengths. But he was ripping, great for him. It's been a really tough year for him, and he's kind of had an awesome, mindset about it. He's like, oh, well, this year isn't my year. I'm just going to not race. I'll go do something else this weekend. And to show up on his own wagon, that's pretty sweet. And to beat all of us, we all take this serious, and he just to show up on a bike like that and to strum us like he did, good for him.
All right, lots of people helping you out this year, and probably a lot of people are going to be helping you out next year too. So let's show some love to those sponsors.
Yeah, Parts Canada has been a great sponsor of mine this year, and hopefully going into next year as we move forward, helping with Flat Track Canada as well. Alpine Stars, HJC Leathers, American Harley Davidson, Motion Pro, Sturgis Cycle. I always forget Sturgis Cycle. Sorry, guys. Vortex, K&N, Town Moto, CVC Agency, and that's about it.
All right, so that's Doug Lawrence taking that second spot and second spot overall in our Open Expert class. Okay, wrapping up the season and taking the last win, Tyler Seguin out here on what I thought was a stock bike. I don't know. Tell us the rundown on what the story is behind this bike.
It's I bought this as my motocross bike in the spring, and I rode it all summer, all spring, all summer on the motocross track. I set it up for flat track for the last race in Welland, and the thing worked awesome. So it's been set up since, and it's got a beating on it. But she did me good today.
You could say it's broken and really good. Now, Tyler, that race was hectic off with that red flag at the start of the race. Going through that, did that affect you any way mentally when you were out there racing, or did you just have to put your helmet on and put the hammer down and do what you had to do?
No, it definitely did. All day, I was running real good, but I could not get off the line. And on that start, I finally got a good start. We were going down the back straightaway, and I felt good. And we came around, and I actually didn't know it was a red flag yet. And we went in the yellow flag, so we were still racing. Then I realized there was a crash. We had to do a restart. I hope Steve's all right. And I was able to get off the line again in the second restart, so I was still happy with that.
I'm pretty impressed with that burnout you did over there too. So Tyler, quick shout out to all those sponsors giving you a hand this year.
I got to thank Mama's Boys. I got to thank Paul Little, the rest of my family and friends. My buddy Nate. I got to thank everybody that helps out a little bit. That it helps actually big. So thank you all.
All right, so taking that last win of the season out here, the 22 of Tyler Seguin.